So tell us about yourself and maybe your company, Rwazi, that you're working with.
Yes. So my name is Joseph Rutakangwa. I run a company called Rwazi. What we do is we provide organizations with on-ground data on products, services, and activities from developing countries. And the way we do it is we utilize a network of what we call mappers, who are qualified but unemployed young people in Africa. So we equip them with the web app or mobile app, and they use it to collect data in their local areas, and then they get paid for the data they collect. For organizations, we serve organizations in different industries, everything from finance, education, normal consumer products, automotive industry, and so forth. Any industry, and they don't have to be in Africa. Most of our customers are in developed countries, and expanding on the African continent. We now have about 10,000 mappers across 40 countries in sub-Saharan Africa. They're spread in villages, municipalities, towns, and major cities.
Yeah.
And we've started now building a new network of mappers in India as well. So yeah, so that's.
Yeah, that's really great. I think I was not really interested in data, but when I joined uni and I found people interested in data, and I was like, what's this data thing? Like, how does it help out? And I learned how important like data is, especially when you make like researching, or even as social scientists, like when you're doing projects, you need data to actually implement the projects that you want to do. So I think it's really important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh no, data is very important. Otherwise, countries, organizations would be, they won't have any direction, right?
Yeah.
So you're not spending aid money or revenue or such, just spending it in wrong projects and not having the intended outcomes. So definitely. Data is very important. That is absolutely important.
Yeah.
Especially on ground data that is based on fact.
So what is your personal journey like in ALU, and how did you go about like networking and your career path?
So my personal journey in ALU, I came to ALU in 2015. I was very happy during that time. The way I got to ALU, I had worked for 5 years. I finished high school, went into doing community development projects, then ran a lot of projects with different organizations, and then eventually went to Lehigh University on a postgraduate program. And then after that, started doing consulting and then other businesses. So I had done like 5 businesses before coming to ALU. And the reason I wanted to come to ALU at that point, I wanted to change my career and business, because I was doing consulting projects, but by that time they had dried up.
Yeah,
I had invested in many businesses that had failed, all of them. So I just wanted a fresh start. I wanted to change the country that I was operating in, the kind of businesses I was operating with, and to find smart co-founders, right, in the team. So ALU was that opportunity, right? So I got accepted into ALU, came to ALU. The first thing, when I landed, I found people that I had actually met during the Africa Rising course, and we started Banza at the time. So that was my 7th venture, and then when I was doing Banza, then we got other projects. I got other projects on the side. And then eventually some of those projects, most of these projects were strategy projects, and you find that you don't have data as you're doing that, right? So doing a lot of strategy projects, there's no data in African countries, so you're just going blind. Therefore, I saw that the problem is the reason companies are struggling penetrating into African countries is there isn't any on-ground data that they need to make decisions on, right? So the business opportunity, and there's no one actually who was, and right now still is, we're the only ones in this field. There's no one who is actually addressing that issue. You have traditional market research firms like Nielsen and Kantar, but they're doing what they've been doing for the last 100 years, which is not on-ground data collection and analytics. So we just, Erica and we met Erica, who's also in my class, sat to let's do this. That was in end of 2017. Then we did tests in 2018, incorporated the company. And my idea at the time was, university time is to create, it's like a grace period. So we had 4 years at ALU.
Yeah.
And the 4 years are the 4 years where you won't be paying rent. You won't be, we had a corporate sponsorship, so food was included. You don't have to buy food. You don't have to pay any of those expenses. So it's like a grace period of building your life. By the end of 4 years, you have to have a life.
Definitely.
Otherwise, you just wasted 4 years,
Yeah.
Someone who wants a job, use those 4 years to get employment. I had employment offers from all the clients I had been working as a independent data analyst for, right, as a consultant. I had job offers from that, and then, but I saw that of course it's a big opportunity if you do a business than if you get employed. So so I did it. So I remember Veda made us write letters to ourselves when we started ALU that we would open as we graduate. And in my letter, I wrote that if you're reading this letter and you haven't started a business, you haven't started yourself up, you've failed. You're a loser. You have 4 years of someone paying for your rent and food. You need to figure yourself out. And I was happy on graduation. I read it. I had done what I said I would do. So that's how I spent my time at ALU.
Oh, that's really awesome. Like having to know that you had not even, it wasn't your starting point, but like you had benches from before. And like ALU was like your start, like root start.
Yes.
That's really great.
Yes, ALU had a community, the exposure to normal startup worlds, the exposure to exposure and the concentration of smart people to start a business with. Because in Tanzania, people want to say upfront, like how can an idea, you just have a pitch deck, how can you have a salary, So having someone with vision, someone who's ambitious and who is intelligent to execute. I only found that concentration at ALU. So I was like, I'll have to use this. I have to get company running before our class spread and go back to our own home countries. And, once that is done, there's nothing you can do,
Yeah. So how did you go about, because we are approaching our internship cycles right now. And like students like us who are year ones, we didn't have an internship cycle last year. So we're having our first internship cycle this year. So how did you go about applying for internships and also creating those, what you call them, creating the standards for yourself for the internships that you want, and actually ensuring that you're able to build the skills that you wanted to build in the field that you wanted to work with?
So I have a rule. I got this rule from many years of finishing, not having. So ALU was like 5 years into looking for a scholarship, right? That's when I got the ALU scholarship. So I built this rule from looking for scholarships, which is you apply to 100 places a day. In a month, it's 3,000. In a year, that's 36,500, and that's the minimum you can apply for, right? So when you're applying for a job, I had a resume and I had cover email, cover letter, cover email, and a cover email changed. Like when you're sending out 100 emails a day, what happens is you improve and people are responding. Maybe people are responding, we can take you, we can do this or that. So as time goes by, you are adjusting because you're watching YouTube videos, you're consuming, you're reading a lot online how to improve your cover emails. So you adjust with time. Now, what a cover email was, what I did not pitch, because remember I have a business background. I did not pitch that I'm looking for an internship or I need a job. I said, I have done these services, I've done this and that, I've built these strategies for this and that, and I've seen that your company does this and this, and I would like an opportunity to help to add value to your business by doing so and so, right? And most businesses in Africa, for instance, they don't grow, right? So they plateau faster. So they get maybe $1 million in revenue a year, and that's it. And everyone's comfortable. They have a car and everything. So my pitch was, I've looked for markets for multinationals. I've helped them, penetrate into different countries and so forth. I've designed supply chain models. So with your business, I can add value by doing so and so and so. So I'd like to discuss further. And so it's a pitch, it's like a sales pitch.
Yeah.
And you're sending that sales pitch. Of course, so many people will say no. So if you send it to 3,000 people a month, inevitably one person will say yes, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And when someone says yes, at that point, you are not so hard on negotiating salaries, because what you want is a foot in the door. Because someone doesn't believe, even if you tell them I've done ABC, they don't believe you yet. So you need to get in and prove that what you've been saying is true. And for yourself, you need a portfolio that I've worked with this company.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they're paying $100 a month, $200, fine. I'll go in, I'll do it for 1 month. And as I'm there, I'm also pitching someone else, so that if someone else gives me a bigger offer, I move.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yes.
So that's the life, right?
Yeah.
And concurrently, you're doing, I had a LinkedIn profile, adding all my portfolio, focusing on portfolio.
Yeah.
Portfolio of the project that's done and so forth on my LinkedIn profile, and all that stuff. So eventually you get a job, right? You get an internship. You can get an internship. Once you're at the internship, my objective at the internship wasn't to wait for my manager, the one that's reporting to teach me the job. No, my objective was to make myself as useful as possible, right? Because I know they have a bias against me. They think because I'm young, I won't be as useful, I won't contribute as much,
Definitely.
So when you get there, and this is what happened. So I got to my first internship. I went out of my way. I was sending a daily report every day. I was sending a log because I was doing sales, right?
Yeah.
So I was moving around. They gave me a sales rep that I was moving around with. And the sales rep wasn't logging in the report, and I was sending a report every day.
Yeah.
I was sending a daily report, and Friday I'm sending a weekly report of what's happening in detail, all the discussions we've had and all the meetings and so forth, and what we expect to do next week, and all the weekend challenges and blah, blah, blah. And the manager was so impressed that I'm doing my job. And guess what the job was? Just reporting. All he wanted is for the guys to report. So I just impressed because I was just reporting. So it's actually it's not rocket science. All you need is to be punctual, get there early, report, to a manager, identify challenges, create propose initiatives to solve the challenges, and so forth. That's all. By 2 weeks, I had, outdone even the guys who were at the office. But you have to learn office politics. You shouldn't think that you're smarter than anyone. Just be humble. Even if the manager praises you in public, you have to, there's a way you have to play.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because if other people if the manager likes you and other people in the office hate you, you're done. So
that's true.
You need to learn managing.
Yeah.
Yes, balancing and all that stuff. So that's what the internship is about. But more than that, your reputation, you want the manager and everyone in the office to match you with integrity, punctuality, excellence, going over and above. So they match you like that. And this is what happened to me. After my first internship, the guys at the office, of course, they were speaking about Joseph and Rutakangwa is that guy. So they end up speaking about me, when they're speaking with their friends at the bar and whatever.
Oh yeah.
And they end up starting
so that's more
clients.
network. Yeah.
Yes, and that's how I started. That's why I got my clients. That's why that's how I got back into consulting. Because they told me, we had this kid is studying in Mauritius. He's now back to school, but that guy is amazing. He does the job. He doesn't have a life outside work. Blah blah blah.
Oh, good.
And I got clients.
Yeah.
And now people are reaching out to me. I was back at ALU, and people are sending me emails that you interned here and there. I want you to do this for me and da da da. And I started getting paid.
Wow, that's really great.
And those clients, people who put you as clients, I mean, people who will give you services, and they give you jobs, and then you're providing them services. They're paying you. You're invoicing them every month, and they're paying you. Those people want to retain you as an employee at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
So they give you permanent offers. They give you fat offers. So in the end, by graduation, you have a job.
Yeah, because you're building your brand as an individual.
Yes.
Yeah.
As an individual. Yes, that's correct. You're building your brand as an individual. Even today, I'm telling you, even right now it's 2021. I still have people from people I met in 2017 who are still asking if I need a job. They're giving you the director positions. Like, Joseph, are you available? We have this position. Would like you to take it.
Oh, so, yeah. So, based on that, I actually have a question. How do you go about now rejecting opportunities that you think will not be useful to you? Like, let's say, for example, someone is offering you a consultancy, whatever, but you're interested in data because that's not suitable for you as a person. It's not building your skills. How do you go about not rejecting, but rejecting those kind of opportunities?
So, okay, so you have to think. You have to think in two ways, right?
Yeah.
There's passion, right? I'm doing this because I'm passionate, and then there is the normal, economic reality. So on the economic reality side, as a business, you need revenue. Especially if you don't even have a incorporated business, you're just a freelancer. You need revenue. So even if a project sometimes is not intellectually attractive, but if it's providing revenue, you can take it on, hire people to work under you, and then you do the supervision and approval to send on the last deliverable to the partner. For instance, say my previous ventures, I've done graphic design, video production, I've done agriculture, I've done so many things. So when I got a graphic design job, because when I'm providing my data analytics service, I provide visuals, excellent presentation. People know me for that.
Yeah.
But then I'm not a graphic designer. But then people would be like, okay, I have this presentation, but I need you to redesign it for me. Yeah. And then I'm paying this much. So I was saying, okay, I'm not going to stand it down. I'll take it. Have someone who I think is a good graphic designer who is comparable to me.
Definitely.
I tell them how to design it. They do it. Then I correct, I supervise and manage them.
Yeah.
Then they have a deliverable. Then the client pays, I pay this guy a percentage and so forth. So you're building a business.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of the economic reality that you need to earn more and more and more as as time passes, right?
Yeah.
Now, on the other side, if the job that you're interested in, if the job that is intellectually attractive to you is earning you so much that you can afford to ignore, for instance, if you're earning $2,000 a month from gigs, from data analytics gigs, and someone gives you a $200 graphic design gig, then you can ignore it.
Yeah, definitely.
If you want. Yeah. So you can make, and the way you ignore it, you say, thank you for this opportunity, however, at the moment, I have, so many orders with regards to data analytics that I don't have the capacity to take on a new order, right?
Yeah.
But now after you say that sentence, you have two options. You say, if you are open to having me subcontract this order to other people so that I can get it done, that can be done, right? But if you insist on me designing the project, then I'm afraid that won't be possible at this time.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that makes
sense. That's the thing. And someone can decide to either counter with a higher offer, or they can just give up. Yeah.
Whoa, that's really amazing. I didn't know about that. So one of the last questions, how did you approach life post ALU, after graduating?
Yeah, in my case, it was different because I started Rwazi before graduation, 1 year before graduation, right? So I had the company up and running. So by the time I didn't do my honors, right? So I did my normal BA, had my credits. I was like, okay, this is done. Then I focused on the company 100%.
Yeah.
So by the time graduation hit, I was already running a business. I had grants. I had this. I was already operating a business. So it just the transition was very smooth, right?
Yeah.
And this is why I tell people that use your years at university. So I had that scale that I sent you, year one. If you're doing a business, if you want to be an entrepreneur, in year one, you have to finalize and come up with an idea. Like you guys, right now, as you go to internships, whoever wants to do a business has to have decided what business they're going to build.
Yeah.
And you can't keep changing, right? right? Because the more you keep changing, you're going back to zero. When you decide what business you want to build, year 2, you do the pitch decks, the organizational design, the product design, you go out in the market, you provide the service, and you start earning revenue. Year 2. So you do all the pitch competitions, you join the incubators, you do it all. Year 3, by the end of year 3, you incorporate the company. So that when you incorporate the company, of course, most likely it will be, the revenues are small, you can't sustain yourself and this and that. So it's a hassle, but then it's a hassle. You still have the protection of the fact that you're a student and you're on campus. So that by year 4, when you're now graduating, you have, surpassed that level. You can now stand on your own 2 feet and live life comfortable.
Definitely.
So, and if you're going for employment, the same route, you do internships, get connections, become a freelancer, eventually land job offers. And if someone gives you a date, if a company gives you a date that is sooner than your graduation date, a date of starting a job, like for instance, for us, we had people who had starting dates which were like 6 months before their dissertation or things like that. Take the job, leave school, take the job. Like as long as you have your BA, right? You don't need the honors thing. Leave school. Like someone gives you a high-paying job, and because they're not begging, right? If an employee likes you, they will be, happy and excited, and they'll give you offers, right? But if you act that you're too special and rare and all this, they'll just find other options, and you'll find that life is not so forgiving.
Life is not about you alone.
Take the job.
Yeah, definitely. One word that you would like to advise students or alumni who are right now approaching internship periods or they're looking for jobs right now? Like one word or a phrase?
One word: take initiative. Take initiative. Yeah.
That's really great. Thank you so much for
having me on this call.
I would like to meet you and gain more insights. Thank you so much.
I'm so happy that you guys are doing this.